Welcome to Digital Academy. Today gonna talk about a new lesson, how to create a metal oil bottle. Let's say I want to create a metal bottle for factory or any, let's say, manufacturing. I just need to start by increasing the size of the cylinder, create a new cylinder, apply some modification of the length. Let's scale it from one handle to increase its height. And remember to go to the right side menu, the channel box, to change the movement and the size and the location of the object, and get into the poly cylinder to decrease the caps. I need to decrease the subdivisions to allow some modification of any subcomponent parts. For this subcomponent part, you can select each edge alone, or you can select edges together, or you can select a faces subcomponent mode. To get any subcomponent mode, just right mouse click and press face mode or edges or whatever else, and just press Ctrl and E for extrude. Let's continue this shape. For this one, I make a new extrude by pressing Ctrl and E. Just move it with the moving tool. It's like moves the face that you are selecting. And if you want to make a duplication, a new copy, just make another extrude by pressing Ctrl and E. For this one, for demonstration, I will make a new extrude by pressing Ctrl and E, changing the offset and move it up. For this one, I just drag the face at the top. And if I want to make a new copy, let's say for this one, I press Ctrl and E for extrude, changing the offset a little. I will decrease its size from the middle and apply a new extrude to change the offset. Let's make this one smaller inside and make a new extrude by moving it tool over the side. Let's scale it from the middle, a uniform scaling. You can see it grabs the sides together. And make another extrude by move it forward with no change in an offset. You can see it's move it as one unit. It's like you make a duplicated copy. And if you want to drag the border, just move it separately from the moving tool from the handle, the top one. And if you want to change it according to the side of the bevel you will apply, just change the offset and make another extrude. For demonstration, you can see I will make a duplication of extrude and make a new extrude by pressing Ctrl and E. Move it to the side, and if you make any wrong step, remember the key Ctrl and Z from the keyboard. Return back to the last unit that you just applied. For this one, I need to make the cap, so I just press Ctrl and E and move it up from the handle of the moving tool, the yellow one. Move it in the axis direction. Remember, you can select one face separately, or you can select multiple faces by holding Shift on keyboard. Just get to the subcomponent mode, and for this one I will select subcomponent tools like multi-cut tool. Multi-cut tool allow you to cut precisely at the middle if you hold Shift from the keyboard and left mouse click and press enter if you want to make the cut. Just select it by holding Shift or right mouse click to get navigation to the subcomponent tools. And if you want a precise cut at the middle of any object and each side and any edge, just hold Shift from the keyboard and left mouse click. And when you put the point of any cut, just press enter to make the precise cut. That you subdivided any object precisely from the middle. For this one, I select this point and this point, move it and press enter to make the cut. If you make any wrong step, just press Ctrl and Z to move back to the last one. For this one, I need to make the cut at the middle. And after making the cuts, you can select the faces that you want to remove. Just select this one and the other one by holding Shift from the keyboard. After selecting them together, you can delete them by pressing backspace or delete from the keyboard. You can see the effect of the opening of the metal bottle. For this one, I need to change and apply some modification for the caps and some modification for the faces and the edges that I just applied. Remember to select the object mode by pressing right mouse click and get to the object mode, or if you want to make a subcomponent modification, get to the edge mode or face mode by right mouse click and hover over it with the mouse. For this one, I will select the button, apply some extrude by pressing Ctrl and E, changing its size from the middle, change uniform scaling. It's like you scale it down as a one unit. And I just make a new extrude by pressing Ctrl and E. It's like the bottom of the bottle. And after navigation around, you can navigate around by holding Alt from the keyboard and select subcomponent of the neck of the body. Just double mouse click on this side edges, select all the edges around. Then you can navigate to the scaling tool by pressing R on keyboard, increase its size a little. Then remember, you can select one edges only and apply modification, or you can select multiple edges, multiple one along. Select all the faces at the same level around, and if you want to select the points, just right mouse click and head to the vertex mode. Select each point, apply each modification precisely. The more smaller the modification is, the more precisely the final shape and the more the realistic effect. If you want to apply some disturbances, it's like some deformation, make the realistic effect. It's like a real bottle. And after finishing, remember to apply beveling to the final component. But for this one, I need to select this component, fill the hole. It's like I filling the cap. I'm filling the opening of this bottle. For this one, I'm not satisfied. You can apply deformation of it by moving it to side, moving inside, and you can select different sub-component mode like edges and faces and vertex and apply some modification. For this one, I double click on these edges, select all the edges around the bottle of the neck and move it down. For this one, I need to select the faces around. Then I select these faces around and apply some extrude by pressing Ctrl and E and decrease its size a little. Let's move it down and move it up a little. You don't have to make the precise modification and the precise and the same object. It's just for demonstration how to navigate around different tools, different sub-component tools, how to select and create a new shapes, and how to combine them together to make the final product. For this one, I will create a new cylinder, apply some modification on the top of it, uniform scaling a little, and apply some rotation. Remember to get to the rotation precisely. Remember to head to the right side box, the channel box, and make a rotation precisely at 90 degrees. For this one, I make a uniform scaling. It's like the snoozing is like the extruding part to make the bottle. For this one, I make the final object of this metal bottle. It's like the projection that you extrude and provide the liquid inside this bottle. I make it precisely at the middle. You can navigate around to see the final product that you just created. Remember to apply some beveling effect by pressing Ctrl and B, changing the offset and changing the thickness of any extrude that you just added. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.